Hey spicy food fans, have you ever noticed yourself wanting spicy foods more and more often and wondered, can you get addicted to spicy foods? Today we're going to take a deep dive into some of the science behind spicy food and find out if it's truly addictive. But first, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more discussions like this. First, we're going to start by clarifying what do we actually mean when we say addiction. Now, colloquially, some people use the word addiction just to mean something I really like or something that I want quite often. If that's the definition you're using, then yes, spicy food is addictive. Sometimes you want it a lot or you may really like it. But addiction is actually something that is pathologized. I'll read you the definition by the American Society of Medicine. Addiction is a treatable chronic medical disease involving complex interactions among brain circuits, genetics, the environment, and an individual's life experiences. People with an addiction use substances or engage in behaviors that become compulsive and often continue despite harmful consequences. So with that definition in mind, is spicy food addictive? Let's dive into some of the science. Now keep in mind, I shouldn't have to say this, but I am not a medical doctor. If you have concerns about your health, please seek medical care. This is just for fun informational content. That said, there is no research that supports the claim that spicy foods can cause addictions, even when consumed in high amounts. That means that it's very unlikely that you or anyone can become addicted to spicy foods, again, in the sense that we're talking about, where it can create negative and harmful consequences in your life. It also means that the negative consequences aren't severe enough that it warrants scientists and researchers to invest in doing research into it. That said, spicy foods can act in similar ways in some senses to other addictive substances like alcohol or cigarettes. One of the reasons that alcohol and drugs can be addictive is that they make the brain release endorphins, which makes you feel good. Similarly, when you eat spicy foods, it creates a pain reaction, and then your body releases endorphins to dull that pain. The use of capsaicin as a painkiller in certain contexts has been documented and researched for at least hundreds of years, if not longer. It's used in modern medicine in the form of injections for nerve pain conditions like Morton's neuroma and topically for other neuropathic conditions. Now keep in mind also that in this context, when I'm talking about spicy foods and the mechanisms behind spicy foods, I'm specifically talking about spicy foods that are made spicy by capsaicin. There are a number of other compounds that our brain may interpret as spicy, and you'll see foods like cinnamon, wasabi, horseradish, onions that you might taste and think is spicy, and they are, but it's not spicy because of the compound capsaicin. Now, one interesting thing that I found is that capsaicin, or spiciness, can make other flavors taste even better, like saltiness or sweetness. This may have something to do with the endorphin reaction that we talked about. This can, in turn, make you feel like you want to eat more spicy food, but that isn't necessarily the same thing as an addiction. Here's another caveat. Unlike drugs or alcohol, you're not going to develop dependency on spicy foods. If you normally use hot sauce on your eggs at breakfast every morning, nothing negative is going to happen in your life if you don't have hot sauce tomorrow. It's not going to cause you to feel anxious, it's not going to give you the sweats, and you're not going to have other withdrawal symptoms. And aside from the temporary discomfort of the spiciness in your mouth when you eat super hot foods and maybe burning shits, let's be honest, broadly speaking, in almost all cases, it's not going to significantly negatively impact your life like true addictions will. Another thing that spicy foods do have in common with other addictive substances is that you can build up your tolerance to capsaicin, and eating progressively spicier and spicier things to the same effect. Now, normally when you eat capsaicin-containing foods, the TRPV1 receptors open and allow calcium and sodium ions to enter. That's what sends the pain signal to the brain. When you eat spicy foods again and again, or progressively spicier foods, the receptors shut off, which prevents the transmission of those pain signals, which are what causes the burning sensation. That's all for today, folks. Please give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new, plus to let me know if you want more of this type of video. And check out the recommended video where I'm going to talk about spicy food cravings.